we've been going back and forth on a listener question, and it seems as though, Greg, that Carrie from Indianapolis might be taking things a little too quickly. And that can be sometimes dangerous when you're building a portfolio, especially if you're new. You want to make sure that you take things slowly, perfect a system, start with one property, and then it's easier to scale a good system with multiple properties instead of scaling a system with a bunch of bad properties with bad processes. So let's talk about the importance of taking your time and really understanding what you're doing.
Yeah, you know what would be fun is that pretend to be her, okay? Like, we don't have the live calls coming in here yet, and it would be great to be able to go back and forth with somebody. So I want you to channel Carrie from Indianapolis, and I want to ask you the kind of questions that I would ask her if she was here, and try to, well, let's see if I can produce the outcome that I'm looking for. But the idea is that, to bring people up to speed, just in a nutshell, she's got her first property in a series of 3 properties that she's buying for investment. And the first one she's having trouble renting out for a profit, and actually asking us if she should give it away cheap and almost barely break even on it, because she has these other properties that she's committing herself to, and she has to be able to get that rented so she can move forward. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
so my first instinct was, don't give the thing away. Okay. So I understand your situation, Carrie from Indianapolis. I told her that she needs to go market that rental and get it occupied for a profit, the profit she had in mind. Okay. She should at least be in Indianapolis, at least be generating a 6% net yield. Meaning, take all the profit that you have after you pay your expenses and divide that by what you pay for the property. If that profit you make per year is not more than 5 or 6% of what you paid for the property, then you've made a bad deal. Okay. So you want to know that, because you want to know if you're making bad deals because you're choosing the wrong properties and you're not doing your research, or you want to see that you're making fine deals. All you have to do is market the rental more aggressively to get the rent that you need. But the next question is, you've got yourself committed to 2 other properties in what you call live and flip, which is a cool idea. All right. So you're living in one, you're about to move out of it, and you're buying another one that you're also going to live in. So my question is, first, Carrie from Indianapolis, who is now Ahbi, how old are you?
I'd say, Greg, first of all, you never ask a woman her age.
She called in to ask for advice on investing. So you're right. I broke one of the rules. So
hey, so let's assume in this case, Carrie is 37.
37. Okay. So excellent. Young as a spring chicken.
There you go.
And so how many years from now do you intend to retire? Like, how many years you have working?
I'd say I'd be interested in retiring maybe 53, 55-ish.
Okay. So let's call it 57 to make it nice round numbers for me. Okay. So
Cool.
You got 20 years to work with. 20 years is plenty of time, right? What's happening right now is you've got yourself kind of running at a full speed, where you've got one property you're just done with, you're trying to get it rented, having trouble. The next property you're in and you're about to move out of to go into the third one. And so you have another rental you have to get occupied very quickly. And you haven't necessarily nailed that yet. Do you have a property manager? If you're going to run this fast, it may be really helpful for you to have people to put this stuff in the hands of, so that as you move from one property to the next and you're keeping high velocity, instead of slowing down, you could get some help. So that was, this is not a self-serving question now that I'm part of a property management company. It's what we do. And you'd be able to tell us, get my place rented to a good tenant and collect those rents and send me those checks. And you can lean on somebody else to make sure that happens. So what is your property management situation?
I mean, I'll say, Greg, the property management situation that I have right now, I'm doing everything myself. I've got I've got to market my own properties, and then that's why I'm running into all these weirdos that want to rent from me, and quite frankly, I'm getting a little stressed out. I don't know where they're coming from. I'm putting up Craigslist ads. I have signs that I'm like the bandit signs, those that I'm sticking on the corners, kind of near the property. So I'm doing that, but largely doing this myself, and I need to buy these other 2. Right, it's really important that I buy these other 2. I think I've gotten good deals on them, and I want to make sure I'm not upside down.
Let's imagine you're committed to them, and it sounds like you're committed to them.
Yeah.
And so if you're committed, you've got these things in contract. The furthest one out is in contract. By the way, one thing I've learned that I'm on in years now, when everybody you meet is a weirdo, you know what that means sometimes? Sometimes it means that actually you're the weirdo, but I'm not going to
most likely.
No, it really is not fair to tease Carrie when she's not here to defend herself, but we're just having a little bit of fun. So you're committed to these things. So here's the benefit of putting it in the hands of somebody else is that you can stay on the wave tops and you can run fast and you can move it over. If you didn't want to do that, if all the deals that you've been doing are so tight that you have to manage it yourself, the live and flip thing works because you live there. It's a very, very good strategy if you're going to manage yourself because you live there. You don't need a property manager when you live there. So then when you move on to the next one, the one you used to live in, now you have to keep managing that, which means every time you do this in succession, you're adding another property on. And managing a property is like throwing a tennis ball up and down. Almost anybody can do that. Managing two properties is like juggling two tennis balls, which a lot of people can do that. You add the third ball, and like it goes down to like a minuscule percentage of the population that can actually do that. And it's that way in property management too. Every unit you add is like another ball you have to juggle. It becomes exponentially more complicated. And so for somebody who wants to do live and flip and also is showing a propensity to want to do it in a sprint kind of a pace, it probably makes a lot of sense. One of two things. You have two choices. Either slow down your pace because you're bringing on more things and you're already falling behind, or hire somebody locally you can depend upon, put these things in their hands so that in your wake you don't create wreckage. You create basically something orderly that allows you to focus on the next property. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. So from my perspective, what should be my major focus right now?
Your major focus right now is getting the income from that first rental. Okay, so just as I said before, make sure that you're not short-changing the marketing. Keep in mind, I'm not going to pay anybody a commission to lease out my house, and I'm not going to go spend $500 to rent it out. Well, there's no free lunch, okay? If you want to get a lot of good applicants, you got to put this thing out there. Zillow is probably the best place if you're going to do it on your own. If you're going to hire, let's see, you're in Indianapolis? I think we're in Indianapolis. Maybe we're not. I'm brand new to the company. Like literally, I don't even start until January 2nd. So anyway, long story short, if you can't slow down, you have to hold yourself accountable to make sure your first deal works. And if it doesn't, then you have to slow down. You have to try to get out of that deal. I have a feeling that maybe the deal that you're just getting into now, you haven't actually committed to yet. So the best advice I can give you is cancel that one if you can without any losses, and just digest what you've got right now on the table, and then stabilize everything and then go and do the next one. You have a lot of time, right? You've got 20 years before you want to retire. Just 2 properties a year is a phenomenal pace. That means you're going to have 40 properties by the time you retire. If you did 1 property a year, you'd have 20 properties when you wanted to retire. You put it in that context, it kind of makes it seem silly to try to do 3, 4, 5 in the same year, right? So maybe back off the gas pedal a little bit.
That's fair. So what if, at the end of the day, Greg, like I have a goal, and these properties that I'm getting, the next 2, I'm getting really good deals on. So I feel bad if I just cancel my contracts because I've worked hard to get these deals. So I don't know what I should do then. You're telling me to cancel, but I don't want to cancel.
Well, if you're getting, well, 2 questions I would have. One, did you get a good deal on the first one? Because it doesn't sound like it. You can't rent it out right now. Second of all, if you're able to get good deals that easily, you'll get the next one when the time is right.